Hey, what's going on, everybody? So my ignition cylinder is starting to stick, so I figured I'd just do a quick video. I didn't do the disassembly because that information is readily available online everywhere, but I wanted to just demonstrate exactly where I lube this in order to unstick it, basically. A lot of people just soak the whole thing. I don't do that. There's specific pins in here, and I'm going to show you exactly where I lube, and that's it. Okay, so looking at the ignition cylinder, once it's out, you'll notice there's a pin right by my thumb there, and there's another pin right where my thumb is here. Now, those pins slide in and out as you adjust the ignition, and you'll notice there's an access, a little tiny access port down at the bottom here. So that is what allows this section to pop in and out. Now, with that being said, let's see if I can actually do this here. Hold on one second. Okay, so with the ignition, with the key in, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do this with one hand, but if you look, when you turn the key, that click is when those two pins move, or when that one pin slides out. So now this pin is way stuck out there, and then when you turn the key the other way, it should pop out. However, you'll notice it's not popping out because there's no pressure. So you need to hold on. There we go. And when you pull the key out, well, it probably won't work, but yeah, it's too hard to do with one hand. Alright, so I've got to do this two-handed here. Let's see if I can do it that way. I'll be back in one sec. Okay, let's see if I can show this here. Alright, so I'll use my hand as what would be the base spring at the bottom of the ignition. So you turn it. When you pull the key out, it pops out. Turn it in, you'll notice it slides in. When you remove the key, it pops right back out again. So that is basically the issue. So if your door is open and you've pulled the key out and the car's still beeping as if the key is in there, that's because this piece here is not actually popping out of the cylinder. It's basically staying like that. It's not actually popping all the way out. Like that. See, that's the difference. Anyway, so again, all I do is I lube just that pin area, and from there, and then that access door spot, and that's pretty much it. And then you're good to go. Well, I guess what I should do is actually show the installation going back together. So there's a washer that goes first. Washer goes in, then the spring goes in like this. So there's a washer here. Washer goes first, then the spring, and if you want, you can actually add a little bit of tension to the spring by stretching it a tiny bit. It is a pretty tough spring though. Alright, and then you've got the end cap, which only goes one way because you'll notice that the grooves here are different. So the long side goes here, and the smaller side goes right above the clasp that you use to unlock the ignition cylinder. Alright, well, it's basically push down, just locks in place, and there, it's locked. So let's try it out. Alright, so that would be with the ignition on, so it's all the way out. That's pretty much it. Good to go. Alright, now installing it back in the car is pretty simple because it'll only fit one way. So you basically just line up. It's not hard to actually line up because this piece here, where what you actually use to unlock the ignition cylinder, basically fits back in. So the car has to be in lock. Everything else has slots, so it all just lines up the way it's supposed to. Or maybe I did that wrong. Hold on. Let's see. Nope, it only goes one way, so what you can actually do is just line up the ignition itself, that square at the bottom, with the slot at the end here. So it should be that way. Alright, let's throw it in. There we go. Alright, now it's in. Pull out. Oh, much better. Much better. Alright, now the only other issue is maybe this is becoming a little sticky. See, mine's pretty dirty. So, I mean, this surrounds this pretty tightly, so that could also be the reason why your ignition is sticking. But putting it back in, just make sure you don't break anything. It is a little difficult to do with one hand. Okay, so yeah, so I basically just get it on slightly, and then I do the turn clockwise, push down, done, locked. Alright, let's try it out. I'm hoping that it's not, the ignition's just finally had enough. And there we go. Beautiful.